Today, Baba clarifies that the study that we are studying is for the future. Are we clear about this? Because we generally, although Baba never minces his words, Baba is very clear about everything, but we have so much of conditioning, 63 births of conditioning of bhakti, that we still hear what we want to hear. And in all of 63 births, we have always prayed to God not for the future, but for the present, for this life. And we always thought that when we pray to God, then He would do something to better this life, because we are body conscious, so of course we don't think beyond this life. And then, in body consciousness, you're only worried about tomorrow or 1 year later or 2 years later. You're not worried about the next birth. Your only concern is this birth. And then we always pray to God to better this birth. And now Baba tells us that Baba has come and Baba is teaching us, and Baba is not giving us just giving away everything, but Baba is telling us the method to be in a happy world for the next 21 births. Baba is not teaching us for this birth. Now you see, sometimes people think that when we belong to God, I remember there was this one sister, and she is in Gyan since Brahma Baba's time. So she came very young, and then she was sharing her experience that when we came to Baba, she said we were children, and we thought that when we belong to Baba, then we will never have a cough and cold, never have a fever, never have any loss, and we will never die also, because now we will belong to Baba. And then somebody had a cough and cold, and somebody had a fever, and then somebody had other problems, and then we would sit and wonder what is happening. This shouldn't happen, because now we belong to Baba and this shouldn't happen. And then Baba would clarify that, no, I told you children, I have come to give the inheritance for the next 21 births. And this is a world of sorrow, and this is a world of destruction. And in this world, whether we belong to Baba or do not belong to Baba, the drama is such that if you look around, there is a very profound disintegrating force around you, where everything is slowly crumbling, all the institutional structures, the systems, everything is collapsing slowly, gradually. And then there, more and more you become aware that everything is just going away and giving away, and all the things that you trusted earlier to be more or less certain are showing their face of uncertainty. And then Baba says that this is how the drama is, and in this last scene, this is how it is going to be. Yes, of course, when we are in Baba's remembrance, then we will not feel the pain. But that doesn't mean that things won't happen. It will happen. So everything will happen, but then it will not happen to you. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter, right? So there will be a lot of matter, but then you won't mind, so it won't matter to you. But then it's not like it won't happen, it will happen. And you see, there are people, so I remember there was this plane crash some time ago, and then there were two BK yugals, so no, two couples in that plane crash who were BKs. And then somebody asked me that if they are a BK, then why would they be in a plane crash? So they wouldn't die like this. So I said, they were in the same plane crash, but you don't know whether they died like everybody. Because when you are in Baba's remembrance, the death is very different. And when you're not in Baba's remembrance, then the death is very different. Because you see, when you are in Baba's remembrance, then you lose the body, but there is not the harrowing experience of death. And you are not leaving the body in pain or sorrow or fear, but you are leaving the body in a joyful state that I'm going with Baba. I'm not saying whether they were in remembrance or not, that is their own purusharth. But if you are a BK, you are taught how to die. So if you have practiced enough, then you will, if you are a good practitioner, then you will leave the body seemingly like everybody else, but it will not be like everybody else. Because when you leave the body and you are in Baba's remembrance, then your experience of leaving the body is very different. You leave the body in a very aware state, not in a confused state, because you know that now I'm leaving the body, and you know that I'm going with Baba, and then I'm coming to a world of happiness. So you are happy to leave the body. And you see, Baba says that in Satyug we will leave the body happily, because we will know that I, the soul, leave this one deity body and take another deity body. Now think about you leaving one deity body and taking another deity body, and you're happy about it. And think about you leaving a body which is, giving you pain, sorrow, illness, and then taking a body which is ever healthy. So how much happiness in you will have when you will leave this body, if you are in a state of awareness. So if a Brahmin is really Jnani and Yogi, then they would be very happy to leave this Kali Yugi body and go to Baba and come to the new world. And Baba says that I am giving all this knowledge for the new world. Do not think that this knowledge is for this world, because in this world, the only thing that knowledge will teach you is how to stay detached and loving. So, you can be, we have a very good expression in Hindi, upram, which means you are in a state where you are within everything, you are in the scene, but you are kind of above the scene. So you are like in the scene, but observing it from a different distance. And then you are responding also accordingly. Just like you may be in the midst of a, flood or fire, but your experience will be like you're not in the middle of it, but you are somewhere outside and you're experiencing it like other people who are looking at it. So this is the kind of, this is what Baba gives for this birth. Baba doesn't say that you will attain everything or everything will stay stable and not move and not change, and there would be no scenes in front of you because you belong to Baba. Baba says, whatever you are studying for the next 21 births. Is that clear? Because again, when so I have seen that people, so even BK children, they will offer bhog that my mother is ill and she should get better, and my father is ill and he should get better. And then I always say, what is your definition of better? Will, if they live another month, another year, is that getting better? Or if they recognize themselves, know Baba, and live in a detached state, that is living better. So, what are you offering bhog for? And why are you offering bhog when they are in the hospital? You could have offered bhog always now. This bhog is for my father, for my mother, so that they recognize themselves or they recognize Baba. So you could have offered bhog always, but why only when they are in the hospital? Do you think that physical health and physical longevity is a sign of fortune, or do you think that knowing yourself and recognizing Baba and remembering Baba is a sign of fortune? And if your ideas are not clear, then what happens is you are offering bhog for longevity. And okay, even if Baba gives longevity, let's say, some child. So, have you seen that in the world, when children cry very desperately to eat fast food, then parents feed them fast food also when they know that that food is unhealthy for the child. Because you see, when the child is crying and wailing, you give them anything to make them stop crying. But that doesn't mean that that is best for them. Similarly, maybe even when you offer bhog to Baba, the parents got longevity, or their life got extended by 1 year, 2 year. But is that of any consequence? Is that what is important? Because this is a sign of agyan. And then sometimes children offer bhog for having a good job or having something. So why don't you offer bhog to Baba every day, so that wherever you are in a happy state? So why do you think that a job will make your life better? So, if your life will be better, it will be inside out. It's not because of a job, it's not because of a position. And if you observe in the world, positions and higher pays and everything, they'll make your life more miserable than comfortable. But what is important is you offer bhog to Baba every Thursday, every time you get an opportunity, so that your state gets elevated. With that thought, with that intention, you should offer bhog, not for these material things, because these things don't really matter. These things are, how much will you manage somebody? I remember there was this one brother, and he got hospitalized 10 times in 6 months for different reasons. And he would get treated for one thing, and then he would have another ailment, and finally, when he made peace with his health, after 6 months, 10 times hospitalization, he came and told me in the center that, Didi, now I'm okay and willing to die. I have no problem, and I'm not afraid of any illness. I'm fine. And then after that, he didn't get ill. So, so you see, the problem is you are running away from something, but you have to understand that is the reality of the time. And the more you embrace it and accept it, it is okay. It is okay even if I leave the body. But what is important is how I leave the body. What state do I leave the body in? So Baba says your study is not for this birth. Your study is for the future, is for the next 21 births. Now, the big question is, are you body conscious or soul conscious? Because if you are body conscious, you cannot even appreciate or be happy about creating a future for the next 21 births. Because when you're body conscious, you cannot think beyond this body and this birth. Yes, and do you understand that uh, a person, when he's little, he thinks about 60 years forward, people, I at least, I don't know about this generation, but at least people of my generation also, we thought more about saving for after retirement than, while we are in the job. And you see, it is a human tendency to think about the future. So you always think about the future. But when you're body conscious, you think about the limited future. You think about what will happen after 60 years of age, or what will happen after 80 years of age, and you keep planning for that. But then when you're soul conscious, you know that this is just one life. And then what about the next birth? And what about the next? And it is all as real as this, is it not? Today you're here, tomorrow you're in another body, another place. And that is also your reality, not anybody else's reality. It's just that you have changed your costume and you are in a new birth. And then would it not be wise to think about that future and prepare for it? So Baba says, when you're soul conscious, you know that this birth is almost, pre-decided, because of the 63 births of the karmic current that we have created. We are all in that current right now, caught up in that current, and we can't do anything to change it. But after this birth, there is a possibility of having 21 births of stable purity, peace, happiness in the world. And if you understand that, then you would know that, okay, I can't do anything about this birth. This is the age of sorrow, this is the age of collapse, this is the age of disintegration, and it's going to be like that. But then let me do what I can do right now, which is create a future of 21 births for myself. And Baba says, this is why you need to understand that I'm teaching you for the future. And you have to be, first chapter is be soul conscious. So Baba is giving us a study, and the study is about being soul conscious. And you see, when we talk about the future, then there are two things that we need to pay attention to. First thing is, my future is decided by what is my state of being when I leave the body. So there is this law in Hindi we call Antmate Sogati, which means in the final moments, whatever is your state will decide what will happen after that to you. And Baba says, when you are studying for the future, you're very interested in your Antmate Sogati. You are very interested in ensuring that when you leave this body, you are in Baba's remembrance. That is one way you can ensure 21 births of happiness. So first thing is ensuring that when you leave the body in Baba's remembrance. And do you know that there has been a lot of research in psychology about who do you remember in your final moments? And psychology says that you will always remember those in your final moments who are deep seated in your heart. So, even if you have been away from somebody for many years, but if you have been yearning for that person, you will remember that person in your final moments. Or if you have something very close to your heart, maybe some possession, something, I remember there was this one brother, and when he was leaving the body, he remembered a sweater that his mother had woven for him. And he said that that sweater was very small, but because you see, people are so attached to things and possessions that in the final moments you remember sweaters and mufflers and scarves also. So just think about what kind of destination you would create if you remembered sweaters and mufflers and scarves, and where would you go? Would you become a sweater seller or something? So Baba says that you have to understand that if you want to go with Baba and then come in the early stage of Satyug, then when you leave the body, you have to be in complete remembrance of Baba. And how will you be in complete remembrance of Baba? If you remember Baba so much that only Baba is in your heart in the final moments. Now today, take some time and look into your heart. Who is there in your heart? Is Baba there in your heart? A. Second, is Baba only there in your heart? Because you see, there sometimes we fit in Baba also, or with all the other people, we fit Baba also into our heart. But Baba says, no, not me also, but me only. If that is the state you are in, then in your final moments you will remember Baba. And that is how you go to your 21 births of happiness. So first thing is, we are preparing for the future, and the first preparation is ensuring that I remember only Baba in the final moments, and that will happen if I pay a lot of attention to the practice of remembrance in every second in this birth. Second thing is, you want to come to a world of purity, then you have to create sanskars of purity. Now, what is the main character, or what is it that makes Satyug Satyug? So what makes Satyug Satyug is purity. So what makes Kalyug Kalyug is impurity. So the difference is in purity and impurity. And when we want to go to the world of purity, then we have to create sanskars of purity right now. Yes, if you are addicted to your mobile, can you go to Satyug? First thing is, in the final moments, you will remember your mobile. Yes. And second thing is, you cannot go to Satyug with these kind of addictions of things, anything Kalyugi, any attainment, anything. If you have these addictions of food and drink of the impure kind, you cannot go to Satyug with these sanskars. You cannot go to Satyug with any kind of impurity of thought, word, or deed. And there are so many impure actions in which we engage in Kalyug. And we think that is ordinary and natural because everybody is doing it. But Baba says all those things don't exist in Satyug. And today Baba talks about being a Vaishnav. So you have heard this word Vaishnav, and in the world, Vaishnav means vegetarian. When somebody says I am a Vaishnav, it means that they are vegetarians. But Baba says Vaishnav, being a Vaishnav means belonging to the Vishnu community, which is belonging to Satyug. And in Satyug, you're not only vegetarian but also pure. So you are not just vegetarian, but you're also viceless. And Baba says, now you have to become double Vaishnav, which means you have to be vegetarian and viceless. And only when you, and let me tell you, Vaishnav also don't eat onion garlic. So, onion, garlic, non-vegetarian, these are not qualities of Vaishnav Bhakts also. So those who call themselves worshippers of Vishnu also don't eat this stuff. And Baba says now when you are talking about going to the Vishnu clan or community, then you have to be a real Vaishnav. And real Vaishnavas, first is they are vegetarians, and then they are also viceless, because in Satyug there is no lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. So Baba says, are you preparing yourself for your Satyugi state? Because I'm teaching you for the future, but do you also have that aim? Because if you also have that aim, then you will check how much future ready have you become, how much have you created those sanskars which will make you go into the Vishnu Kul. And then third thing Baba says is, in the Gita also it is written that Kam Mahashatru hai, which means lust is the greatest vice. But while we have been reading the Gita for so many births and for so many years, but then nobody paid attention to this because it was inconvenient. And now Baba says that I am the God who is speaking the Gita to you, and I double underline that if you are engaging in lust, if you have not conquered the first vice, then how can you say that you're egoless or greed free or attachment free? That's not happening. So the first vice is lust. And lust makes you body conscious, and body consciousness is the root of all other vices. So if you have not conquered the first vice, then how can you go to the Vishnu Kul? Then it is doubtful whether you have understood the purpose of belonging to Baba. And then Baba says, in Satyug, everybody's physical organs are calm. Yes, there is no chalaimani. What do you say? There is no, though the physical organs are not jittery. The physical organs are very calm. So have you looked at your eyes, how much they move? Yes, even when you're sitting in meditation, any little sound also your eyes will move. You are hearing any little, and I've seen that, if there is a class going on and somebody enters, somebody leaves, everybody will look at them, everybody will have their thought about them. So just think about how much our physical organs are in an agitated state. They are not calm. And our ears hear everything, and they hear the remotest sound, and then you start thinking about it. And I remember there was this one Mata, and she said that she was sitting in the center one day and meditating. And after half an hour, she came and she said, I couldn't have even 2 minutes of yoga today. So I said, why? So she said, there was some sound coming from a distance. And then it made me think whether it's a police siren, and then what has happened. And then I kept thinking about that. And you see, it's not even her house. It's not even the place where she's living. She's come to the center, and even if there is an issue, it's in the center's neighborhood. And then, she was thinking about that all the time and not able to concentrate. So think about how much our sense organs are always agitated. And look at the mind. Your mind is always thinking about past, future, other, this, that. And Baba says, in Satyug, this will not be our state. Yes, when you go to the temples and just think about the image of the deity looking like this, like this, like this, like this all the time. Would you like that? Yes, no constant eyes of the deity, or no constant attention of the deity. And have you seen that when somebody is not calm, then you always feel they're distracted, and their mind is somewhere else, and you can sense that. And Baba says that, and especially, other, so your physical body also, and every organ of the body has to be calm. So Baba says, whether it's your sensual organs, whether it's your organs of ear or eyes or mouth. And you see, sometimes people have this condition where their mind or their body is always in a state of flux. And Baba says, you have to conquer this. And if you don't conquer this, then how will you go to Satyug? And for all of that, what do you need? To conquer lust, to conquer vices, to become pure, to calm your senses. What do you need? You need yoga power. And Baba says that, I tell you one rule. If you consider yourself to be a soul, you will remember Baba. So just pay attention on coming back to soul consciousness all the time. And just remember that, I am a soul, and I am in the last birth of my 84 births. And now my only concern is to become pure. And only Baba is the purifier, and just keep remembering Baba. And when you have this attention that I am the body, because I am the soul, because you see, as soon as you think you are the body, you start remembering the world of matter. You start remembering bodily beings because they matter to you. And when you know that you are a soul, then only Baba matters to you, because only purity matters to you. You know that I am the soul doing everything through the body, and whatever I'm doing and whatever I'm getting is dependent on my state of being. And my state of being can only be changed when I have yoga with Baba. So when you know that I cannot get something by wanting it, I cannot do something by wanting to do it. I can only do and get as I am. And in order to change who I am and how I am, I have to remember Baba. So the more you get this, the more you are in soul consciousness, you know that the only one that matters, the only one that you have to remember is Baba. And when you are body conscious, then your mind keeps wandering into people and things and the material world. So Baba tells us that we are studying for the future, and for the future, we need to uh, create a state where we leave the body in Baba's remembrance, and also create sanskars of absolute purity, vicelessness, of being a Vaishnav, keeping our sense organs calm, so that we can go to that world of calmness and purity. And for all of that, we need yoga power. So what we do is we become soul conscious and pay attention to remembering Baba always. Because when we are body conscious, we cannot remember Baba. We will remember many other bodily beings and things of matter. So this is Baba's Murli. And second thing, Baba today, so there are many points. You read the Murli and you will get the points. But another thing that Baba today says is, those who have love in their heart will always and easily receive everybody's cooperation. Yes, and do you know that Where there is love, there cannot be selfishness. So, love means selfless. So, when there is love in your heart, which means that you only have one wish, one desire in your heart, that the other soul should benefit. Every soul should benefit. And when you have this deep desire in your heart that every soul should recognize himself, their power, should have yoga with Baba, they should take all attainments from Baba. This is the sign of love. What is the sign of love? The sign of love is care. The sign of love is acceptance. The sign of love is expressing their care by showing the path of Baba to every soul. And when you have this kind of love in your heart, and when you express it like that, then every soul feels that, whatever they are doing, they are not doing for themselves, they are doing for me. And then when they understand that you are not doing anything for yourself, you're doing it for them, then they don't find it difficult to cooperate with you. Because when they are cooperating with you, they are cooperating in a noble task. And everybody wants to be a part of a noble task. Because everybody wants to have punya karma. So Baba says, when you become big-hearted, broad-hearted, and then when you have this genuine, concern and love for everybody to make them belong to Baba, to make them realize themselves, and you do that, then you receive everybody's cooperation very easily. And it is a law. Cooperation will follow for the servers who are doing Baba's work. So those who are serving, those who are destined to cooperate in Baba's task will cooperate with you if you take up the responsibility of Baba's task. So this is the law. So if you want Baba to do your work, that's difficult. But if you become part of Baba's work, then everybody will do your work. No problem. Okay, Shanti.